Gaylord Syndicom is proud to present 3 hours of Farm Aid, a concert for America, brought to you by Campbell Soup Company. For over a century, making products good for America. Chevy Trucks. When you need a truck you can lean on, nothing works like a Chevy truck. And Miller Beer. Miller, made the American way since 1855. Ladies and gentlemen, here's Willie Nelson.
Tuned in to call 1-800-FARM-AID. Maybe we could do that one more time. 1-800-FARM-AID. Is everybody doing all right? We are too. We're stalling just briefly while they take care of a few technical problems in the background. We're getting ready to introduce one of my favorite musical folks. That's 1-800-FARM-AID. 1-800-FARM-AID. Maybe you could do it one time by yourself. Let me hear it. I heard that. We just picked up a lot of radio stations and a lot of television stations all over the country. And they're all waiting to see who we have behind the curtain. Now, could we have a great, big Farm Aid welcome for Mr. Billy Joel?
They say that these are not the best of times, but they're the only times I've ever known. And I believe there is a time for meditation in cathedrals of our own. Now I have seen that sad surrender in my lover's eyes, and I can only stand apart and sympathize. It's either sadness or euphoria. So we'll argue and we'll compromise and realize that nothing's ever changed. For all our mutual experience, our separate conclusions are the same. Thank you. Good evening to you. Listen, we're doing this time spot with another guy here. I want to bring him up. This guy is one of the great composers and songwriters in America today. Please welcome Mr. Randy Newman.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here. Thank you. This is a song about U.S. foreign policy called Political Science, or Let's Drop the Big One. No one likes us. I don't know why. We may not be perfect, but heaven knows we try. All around, even our old friends put us down. Let's drop the big one and see what happens. We give them money, but are they grateful? No, they're spiteful and they're hateful. They don't respect us, so let's surprise them. We'll drop the big one and pulverize them. Asia's crowded, Europe's too old. Africa's far too hot and Canada's too cold. And South America stole our name. Let's drop the big one. There'll be no one left to blame it. We'll save Australia. Don't want to hurt no kangaroo. We're building an all-American amusement park there. They got surfing too. Boom goes London and boom Paris. More room for you and more room for me. And every city, the whole world round, will just be another American town. Oh, how peaceful it will be. We'll set everybody free. You wear Japanese kimono, they will be Italian shoes to me. They all hate us anyhow. So let's drop the big one now. Let's drop the big one now. Thank you.
Okay, remember to call that number out there in TV land. It's 1-800-FARM-AID, okay? I don't know how much money we're going to raise, but I think with this next song we may raise a little hell. Virginia, don't let me wait. Girls, not much too late. Sooner or later comes down the fate. This will be the one. Well, they showed you that, told you to pray. Built you a temple, locked you away. They never told you the price that you pay. The things that you might have done. Well, only the good die young. That's what I said. Only the good die young. Only the good die young. You might have heard I run with a dangerous crowd. We ain't too pretty, we ain't too proud. Might be laughing a bit too loud, but that never hurt no one. So come on, Virginia, show me a sign. the good life. Darling, you know only the good die young. That's what I said. Only the good die young. Only the good die young. Only the good die young. Y'all gonna be an American. Sail away. We will cross the mighty ocean in the Charleston Bay. Sail away. We will cross the mighty ocean into Charleston Bay.
On stage, Mr. Billy Joel and Randy Newman. We're going to take a short break. We'll return to Champaign, Illinois with more Farm Aid, a concert to keep America strong after this short break.
Well, we're back, and we're going to take you back down to the stage and see what's going on.
Thank you. Good night, Joe. Have a good night.
earlier today or this week, Willie Nelson, one of the organizers of tonight's Farm Aid, had a little interview with a special friend of his. Let's go to Willie Nelson now.
The land, their fathers farmed it, and they farmed it according to the books, what everybody told them how to do it. And now they're being foreclosed on. They're losing their land, and by forces beyond their control. And what I'm trying to do with this legislation that really I didn't write, really the farmers wrote it. In a series of meetings all over the countryside, they kind of came up with this kind of common sense approach. What they understand, I think, even better than I understand, is that farmers are only 3% of the people. And they need to have some power. They need to have power within themselves. And the way they can get that is through getting themselves together in a voluntary association through a referendum, which is what I'm calling for. One farmer, one vote. What could be more American than that?
How do you feel about the bill, Mr. Crystal?
Well, I endorsed it when it was announced because it's absolutely essential to have higher prices in agriculture so there can be a profit, so debts can be paid. Otherwise, we're just in that tailspin of foreclosure and debt.
Well, good evening to all of you who have joined us all across America. Brenda Lee, I'm Gary Beatty, and we welcome you to Champaign, Illinois. We have a marvelous cast here tonight.
I am telling you, and we've said it before, this crowd is unbelievable. They have not stopped since 8:30 this morning.
Been with us all afternoon. They have not let up. They are as enthusiastic as they were at 8:30 this morning. We're very proud. They've been yelling in unison that 1-800-FARM AID number. And I don't know what they're yelling in unison now, but it's not the Farm Aid number. You can go to your telephone and dial that number right now and make your contribution to Farm Aid. That's what we're here for. One of the things we're trying to do, of course, is to raise some money to help the farm families all across America who need your financial aid immediately. And, of course, we want to bring to your attention the family farm situation.
We certainly do. And has the rain stopped? I haven't even looked out.
Oh, the rain, yes. Rain has definitely stopped.
It hasn't mattered whether it has or not.
No, it wouldn't have bothered anyone whether or not the rain had stopped or not. You know, throughout the afternoon, we've had some surprise duets, some people that weren't announced, that we weren't able to announce, but we're going to have some more of those, too. But first, as we said, we want to bring to your attention the plight of the family farmer. And here to help us, the storyteller, Mr. Tom T. Hall.
American farmers are the world's best food producers. But they're not the world's only food producers. In fact, during the last 10 years, competition has gotten tougher every day. Most Americans don't think of Europe as a mighty grain exporter. But our farmers know that government incentives paid to European farmers have helped them increase production, not just for themselves, but for the international market as well. In fact, this year, European farmers will sell more farm products to the rest of the world than we will. But Europe isn't the only threat to our farm economy. In the past 10 years, South America has also begun to compete with producers here. When our government shut off soybean exports in 1973, Japan poured money into Brazil to help clear their jungles and plant crops. When our government slapped a grain embargo on the Russians in 1980, Argentina geared up to produce grain to serve the market we had turned our backs on. Competition is coming from unusual sources. Saudi Arabia, for instance, used to be a good market for our wheat, but their government began paying 8 times the normal price to farmers who would irrigate their sandy soil. And now Saudi Arabia produces almost all the wheat they need. China is another good example of the world's drive for all-out food production. They've changed their agricultural system enough to have record production. And now the Chinese are exporting corn to Japan, which has always been the U.S. farmers' largest market. Our farmers once had world markets pretty much to themselves, but that's no longer the case. Now, more than a score of nations can sell the same products we produce to any buyer in the world. All they have to do to make the sale is offer a better price, even if the product isn't quite as good as ours. Nearly 40% of our farm production is sold abroad. So the bottom line for our farmer is smaller sales at lower prices. And this, too, threatens the future of the American family farm.
You know, Gary, we've been talking about the generosity of the corporate sponsors, and I just learned that we have sizable donations from Visa and MasterCard.
Thank you.
Great, and we thank you.
We love it. Of course, our other corporate sponsors have footed the bill to help us to get here to make the event possible. We appreciate that. And we'll be mentioning them throughout the evening, but we want to thank Visa and MasterCard for letting us know about their contribution to this moment. We are getting ready for another little surprise down on stage. We can't tell them just yet.
Not just yet.
The crowd is still enthusiastic. They're with us tonight. And Brenda, this Farm Aid concert hasn't had a lot of time to get itself together. It has an interesting genesis. Willie Nelson and Ray Charles first got together, and when they were recording another song to benefit the Aid for Africa program.
Well, you know, Willie, all throughout his career, spanning back years and years ago, before he ever became famous as a singer, he was a writer. Willie's always been noted for helping folks.
He has.
Always.
Always.
And so nobody was really surprised when all of this came up. I think the surprising thing, like you said, Gary, is the quickness of how it all got together and how everybody responded. And the Nashville Network, I love them. They've done such a marvelous job today.
So do I. Terrific job today. Brenda and I have been here since 10 o'clock this morning. And,
on the air since 10. I think we've been here, what, since 7?
Was that what time it was? Did we get here that early?
I got here at 8 o'clock.
I wish you hadn't told me that. We're having a great time. We're going to be here until midnight. Of course, our syndicated stations across the country will not be able to stay with us during the entire time. So while we have you, let's encourage you to go to that telephone and dial 1-800-FARM-AID.
And by the way, you can use your Visa and MasterCard when you call in that pledge.
Yes, we should say that. You know, the University of Illinois put a new artificial turf here, but it hasn't bothered the crowd at all. They haven't torn it up. It's been watched, and it's been terrific today.
It has been great.
The Hollywood community has joined us in this Farm Aid effort, and we're going to go to Joel Higgins now for a special message.
This year, low farm prices will force thousands of debt-ridden farming families off their land. It's a terrible tragedy. I'm Joel Higgins, and I want to be part of the solution and help these hardworking people, so I'm supporting Farm Aid. Farm Aid has been established to assist many of our farming families who need practical and financial help. You and I together can make a difference and give some honest people a chance to keep their land and, in turn, keep America growing strong.
Well, we're going to go back to the stage now and see what's cooking.
Yeah. Check. Check it. 1, 2. Check. Check. 1, 2. Ooh.
All right, that's good enough. Let's see. I'm gonna do one of my favorite songs here. This is something a little different from a few years ago. It was done originally by the Chi-Legs.
Trouble if you leave me now. I don't know where to look for love. I don't know how. Oh, girl, they say I can depend on you. You
give me love when I need it. Right on time, you will always be here. People say I'm a fool. They say let somebody take care of you. So I try to be hip, but think like the crowd. But the crowd ain't gonna help me now. No, ain't gonna help me. Oh, girl, pain will double if you leave me now. I don't know where to look for love, and I don't know how. Oh, baby, yeah. Let somebody take care of you. So I try to be hip and think like the crowd. But the crowd ain't gonna help me now. Ain't gonna help me. Whoa, the crowd ain't gonna help me now. Oh. If you leave me now, 'cause I don't know where to look for now, and I don't know how. Double trouble, pain will double, oh, yeah. I don't know where to look for love. Girl, don't know how to see, don't know who to go, don't know who to see. Oh, girl, pain will double if you leave me now. All right, let's see. In case you've forgotten, you haven't heard this a million times, but here's 1,000,001. It's 1-800 Farm Aid. That's right. Okay, now I'm going to bring out some other friends here. I had T-Bone and G playing on that, and I got Billy Joel's going to come back out again and play with me here. Also Bonnie Raitt, another good friend of mine. I'm going to sing a song I wrote a few years ago. It was just recorded recently. I don't know. It was a hit with Paul Young. It's called Every Time You Go Away.
And every time you go it doesn't mean that much to me. I can't go on singing the same thing. You can't see we got everything, baby, even though every time you go away, you take a piece of me with you. Don't understand you. Every time you go away, take a piece of me with but every time you go away, what happens? Take a piece of me with you. Every time you go away, why you have to go away right now? Take a piece of me with you. Go free. Every time you go away, go free. Even though you mean so much to me, I don't know with you. Every time you go away, every time you go, you take a piece of me. I don't know, girl. All right now, babe. Every time you go away, take a piece of me. I don't know, never understand, girl. Every time you go away, take a piece of me. I don't know, you got to go. I know you got to understand. Every time you go away, come on, you take a piece of me with you. Take a piece of me, baby. Every time you go away, every time you go, take a piece of me,
We'll have to take our cue from that newly formed trio of Daryl Hall, Bonnie Raitt, and Billy Joel. We will return after this short break.
You right back to the stage because Daryl Hall, Billy Joel, and Bonnie Raitt are ripping it up.
Billy and Bonnie.
Go ahead.
We're ready on 3. 1,
2, 3.
Well, we're back up at our broadcast booth, and she's been here in person all day introducing acts on stage. Now she has a special message for you at home. Actress Sissy Spacek.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain.
There's no braver or more hopeful act than risking everything on fragile seeds in hostile dirt to feed strangers in distant cities and foreign lands. It's an act of total commitment to people, to you and to me. I cannot believe we will abandon this spirit and allow our farmers to perish, victims of their own generosity and hopefulness. So I cling to the hope that this nation will realize the gravity of our situation and move together to preserve the farms and the farming people of this magnificent land.
It's been very gratifying to know that the Hollywood community, actors and actresses, have helped us in our situation here tonight and all day. And I think we have assembled the largest group of American performers for an American cause ever.
I think you're probably right on that. It's been so thrilling today, not only for me, but for all those thousands of people that are out there.
Oh, I know. They're screaming for you right now, America. 1-800-FARM-AID. Go to your telephone and make your contribution. You may charge it.
And charge it to Visa or MasterCard.
Whatever your telephone company is, go to the telephone and dial it. 1-800-FARM-AID as we go back to our stage.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the South, and I mean the South, Waylon Jennings and the band.
I looked for trouble and I found it, son. Straight down the barrel of a lawman's gun. I'd like to run, but I don't think I can. You make one move and you're a dead man friend. Ain't living long like this. Can't live it all like this, can I, baby? Put the handcuffs on behind my back. Let me a reeling on the steel rail. Rocker got 'em all in the jailhouse, baby. Ain't living long like this. No. Can't live it all like this, can I, baby? Angel, she's a roadhouse queen. Make Texas Ruby look like Sandra Lee. I like to love her, but I don't know how. She's on the bottom in the jailhouse. Now ain't living long like this. Can't live it all like this, can I, baby? Look, don't worry about the jailhouse ride. Go on and do it, but just don't get caught. They got 'em all. Ain't living long like this. Boogity, 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 boogity. Can't live it all like this, can I, baby?
Thank you. Light played electric bass, played it with finesse and grace. Sat on the porch, ain't got no shoes, picking that bass and singing the blues. To do. That old dog can sing the blues. He don't move, he don't flinch. Glide, he don't move an inch. Sat on the porch, ain't got no shoes. Thank you. It's good to be here. Thank you. Some have said down through history, if you last, it's a mystery, but I guess they don't know just what they're talking about. From the mountains down to the sea, you've become such a habit with me. America, America. Well, I come from down around Tennessee, but the people in California are nice to me. America. It don't matter where I may roam, tell you people that it's home, sweet home, America, America. And my brothers are all black and white, yellow too, and the red man is right to expect a little from you. A promise and then follow through, America. All the men who fell on the plains and who lived through hardship and pain, America.
This is great. Y'all are great. Here's somebody else who's great. This is my friend of the road and home and everywhere for about 25 years. Here's the one, truly a legend in his own time. This is Johnny Cash. Gonna get ready for
train a-coming, it's rolling around the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when. I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and time keeps dragging on. But that train keeps rolling on down to San Antonio. When I was just a baby, my mama told me, son, always be a good boy, don't ever play with guns. But I shot a man in Reno just to watch him die. When I hear that whistle blowing, I hang my head and cry. Wait a minute. There's rich folks eating in a fancy dining car. They're probably drinking coffee and smoking big cigars. Well, I know I had it coming. I know I can't be free. But those people keep a-moving, and that's what tortures me. From this prison, if that railroad train was mine, then I'd move it on a little farther down the line, far from Folsom Prison. That's where I want to stay. And I'd let that lonesome whistle blow my blues away.
It's live, it's Farm Aid, and we'll have more from Champaign, Illinois after we take this short break.
Well, we're back, and we're going to take you back to the stage with the Highwaymen, Willie, Johnny, Waylon, and Chris.
But I am still alive.
I was a sailor, and I was born upon the tide, and with the sea I did abide, and I sailed a schooner around the Horn to Mexico. I went aloft to furl the mainsail in a blow, and when the yards broke off, they say that I got killed, but I am living still. I was a dam builder, across a river deep and wide, where steel and water did collide. A place called Boulder on the wild Colorado. I slipped and fell into the wet concrete below. They buried me in that great tomb that knows no sign, but I'm still around. I'll always be around and around and around and around and around.
fly a starship across the universe divide. And when I reach the other side, I'll find a place to rest my spirit if I can. Perhaps I may become a highwayman again. Or I may simply be a single drop of rain. But I will remain, and I'll come back again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again, and again.
You want me to start it? Well, there you have the Highwaymen, and we thank Glenn Campbell, Gary, for filling in for Chris.
Chris had to leave early today. He was on early this afternoon and had to leave, unfortunately. But three of the original Highwaymen there, Willie and Waylon and John.
Well, all during this show, you know, I've been asking all the artists, and I've been thinking myself how this thing all came about and was set up, and I think we're going to see that in just a minute.
It's an interesting story, so let's go to that.
September 16th. On that day, 48 semi-trailer trucks filled with the parts to build the 180-foot-long, 60-foot-high stage were met by an army of workers at Memorial Stadium. Over the next 6 days, almost 1,000 people labored to erect the stage, cover the stadium's AstroTurf football field, string miles of electrical cables, hook up hundreds of telephones, feed the construction crews, prepare for a week of satellite broadcasts on local and national newscasts, and set up the Nashville Network broadcast facility, which includes 2 remote control rooms, 15 cameras, and over 100 technicians and production crew members. Today, there are 3,000 singers, musicians, and production and staging personnel working to produce the concert that you and 80,000 here at Memorial Stadium are watching and enjoying.
Well, that's the story on how everything was put together here on the University of Illinois campus. And now we're going to go downstage for another young actor who is going to make a special introduction. Here is Timothy Hutton.
If I could just have your attention, please. His great-grandpa worked this farm. His grandpa worked it and his daddy worked it. He's 30 years old. His wife and children at his side. He stands in the window of the old farmhouse. A car comes up the driveway. A man in a suit is behind the wheel, his briefcase at his side. Today is the last day for this family farm. Tomorrow is foreclosure day. President Reagan, in many ways, you've been a great leader. Today, as you hear this, your advisors are telling you that America must be strong. America must compete in the world food markets. They advise you to keep the prices down, lower than ever. Do you know that this is killing the family farm? And that only the large conglomerate farm units will survive? Mr. President, you have a decision to make. Will the farmer be replaced by the farm operator? Will the family farm in America die as a result of your administration? Will the family system in America be dealt a fatal blow right at the core, sending a tremor of fear through every small family business in America? What will this do to the American spirit? Pictures of your family are neatly framed in the Oval Office, showing your love and reminding you of why you took on the great task of making America strong again. At the end of the day, your wife looks you in the eye and tells you she believes in you. All over America, farmers' wives do the same. But sleep does not come easily for you tonight, and nor does it for them. As we sell our low-priced food products to the world market, we undercut the family farmers in those countries, forcing them out of business. They turn to cash crops such as textiles and other non-food related products in an effort to earn money to buy American food. Must we destroy their native food chains and their family farmers along with it? What happens if we have a drought or some other act of God that ruins our crops here at home? Then we have to raise our world food prices. What will our world food market customers do with no native food and not enough money to buy ours? Consider the consequences for America and for the families of the world. Senator Tom Harkin has a bill, the Harkin Policy Farm Reform Act of 1985. Farm Aid and the family farmers of America consider this to be the only way to save the American family farm. It does not increase the deficit, and it passes on only a 3.5% cost increase to the American consumer. It raises the price of a loaf of bread by only 1 penny. Costs the taxpayer less than any other policy idea presented at this time. We urge you to stand beside us and save the family farm. Now, the Harkin Policy Farm Reform Act of 1985 comes to a vote in Congress 3 days after this event. All Americans interested in preserving our American family system should call their congressman by Tuesday, September 24th, 1985. That's the day after tomorrow. And support this bill. So to the American people and the President of the United States, we all say here today, save the American family farm. God bless you all. And now, I'd like to introduce the author of this letter. It's a great pleasure to bring to the stage now, Neil Young. You paid for that. And once you're gone, you can't come back. When you're out of the blue and into the black.
Here's a song for all you mamas out there, keeping those families together. And all you farmers' wives, doing your best. Searching for a heart of gold. Yeah, I'm getting old. Keep me searching for a heart of gold. Yeah, I'm getting searching for a heart of gold. Yeah, I'm getting old. Keep me searching for a heart of gold. And I'm getting old. Searching for a heart of gold. You keep me searching and I'm growing old. Keep me searching for a heart of gold. I've been a miner for a heart of
Some vintage Neil Young from Champaign, Illinois. Farm Aid, a concert to keep America growing. We'll return after this short break.
Well, we're back, and we're going to take you right back to the stage with Neil Young. He's just mesmerizing everybody tonight.
But tomorrow morning, a man from the bank's gonna come and take it all away.
Jennings here to do this next one with us. Come on out, Waylon. All right, Rufus, kick it off. Let's go.
The letter that Timothy Hutton read earlier reflects the opinions of Neil Young and in no way reflects the opinions of the Nashville Network or Farm Aid. Now, Deborah, you have been here all day long.
I've been here all day long.
And you have worked so hard.
Yes, gravity is starting to take over.
You tell us why and how you got involved in this.
Well, you know, when I heard that it was coming together, actually the first thing that sparked it were Bob Dylan's comments at the Live Aid concert. And I said, yes, I agree with that. And this started to come together, and I volunteered. Of course, as the date got closer, I got a little nervous. But
it's been a great day.
Yeah, it's gone very smoothly.
And they're changing the stage now, I believe, revolving it for our next act. Tell us, like, when you said you were going to be here, what did you, if you were at Live Aid, what did you expect this to be, and how is it different?
Well, most of what I felt about Farm Aid and this concert was not so much the money that we could raise, because ultimately that isn't going to be the differentiating factor. What's going to matter is shedding a little light on the subject and letting President Reagan know that he's got to stand up for what he promised, and he's got to back that up. We've got to lower interest rates and stop foreclosing on our farms.
Well, we appreciate your being here. We're going to go back to the stage now for John Cougar Mellencamp.
Thanks, Greg.
I'll tell you what, I'm just so proud of all you people that are here tonight. Give yourselves a hand out there. All right, we want to do a song that I wrote for you people, a song called Pink Houses. That's how you clap along, all right? Let's sing all the way in the back there, all right? Well, there's a black man with a black cat living in a black neighborhood. He's got an interstate running through his front yard. You know, he thinks he's got it so good. And there's a woman in the kitchen cleaning up the evening slop. And he looks at her and says, darling, I can't remember when you could stop the clock. All right, Bonnie. Ain't that America for you and me? Ain't that America for something to see, baby? Well, a home of the free, yeah. Little pink houses for you and me. Well, there's a young man, T-shirt, listen to a rock and rolling station. He's got a breezy hair, breezy smile. It says, Lord, this must be my destination. Must told me when I was younger, they said, boy, you're gonna be president. But just like Abraham, those are crazy dreams kind of came and went. Let me hear you sing it one time real loud with us. You and me, something to see, baby. Home of the free, yeah. Little pink houses for you and me. Ooh, yeah, little baby for you and me. Larry! Well, there's people and more people. What do they know? No, no. Go to work and somehow rise and vacation down at the Gulf of Mexico. Ooh, yeah. And there's winners and there's losers, but that ain't no big deal. Cause a simple man, we end up paying all those bills and thrills that kill us here in America. Oh, but let me hear you real loud now. a couple thank yous to say before I go on. I want to thank Willie and Neil Young straight away. So many people did so much to make this happen, and this is just the beginning. If I can just take one quick second, I'd like to introduce you to a woman from Wisconsin who is on the ground level of this whole thing as far as the farms are concerned, and she just wants us to talk to you for about 30 seconds. All right, her name's Bobby Polzon.
Actually, I'm from Minnesota, and I'm a farmer. And I would like to challenge, I want the farmers of America to challenge Congress to pass the Harkin Farm Bill. We need a fair level of parity, and we need to be assured that they will leave just a small portion of the profit on the farmer's side of the fence. You've heard it said many times that agriculture is the backbone of this nation. And you're seeing her back broken. And you're seeing her dreams and her heart's broken too. But I want to tell you that her spirit is still alive. And with the kind, unselfish sharing of the time and talent of these wonderful artists. They are going to awaken America's spirit to the call for social and economic justice for all people, so that American family farmers will no longer have to live in crisis and die in despair. And from the bottom of my heart, I love all of you. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Bobby, you guys. Thank you. Acres used to be my farm. Grew up like my daddy did. My grandpa held this land. When I was 5, I walked the fence while grandpa held my hand. Rain on the scarecrow, blood on the plow. This land fed a nation. This land made me proud. Son, I'm just sorry this memory's for you now. Rain on the scarecrow, blood on the plow. Rain on the scarecrow, blood on the plow. Crops grew last summer, weren't enough to pay the loan. Buy the seed to plant this spring. The farmer's bank full closed. I called my old friend Sherman up to auction off the land. Said, John, it's just my job, and I hope you understand. Ain't calling it your job, oh hoss, you don't make it right. If you want me to, I say a prayer for you soldier. Grandma's on the front porch with the Bible in her hand. Sometimes I hear singing, take me to the promised land. Take away a man's dreams, and we'll just do some cows. Blood on the scarecrow, blood on the plow. Blood on the scarecrow, blood on the plow. There's 97 crosses planted in the courthouse yard with 97 families who lost 97 farms. I think about my grandpa, my neighbors, and my name. The nights feel like dying, like I scarecrow in the rain. Rain on the scarecrow, blood on the plow, on this land for the nation. This land makes me proud. And gone out just solid, things holding down. Rain on the scarecrow, blood on the plow. Rain on the scarecrow, blood on the plow. Rain on the scarecrow, blood on the plow. This land's a better nation. Hey, this land made me proud. Gone out just solid, things holding down. Rain on the scarecrow, blood on the plow. Rain on the scarecrow, blood on the plow.
John Cougar Mellencamp, another of the co-organizers of this great entertainment extravaganza, will return with more Farm Aid after this short break.
We're going to take you back to the stage now with the rockin' sounds of John Cougar Mellencamp.
Custom made for two people like me, girl like me, yeah, like me. Thank you very much. Appreciate it very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Here we go.
Well, Gary, that was one of the organizers of the Farm
John
Aid
Cougar
Show.
Mellencamp did a terrific job.
Certainly did. And I
like
think now we've got a video of Alabama that we want everybody to see.
They made a special video, and here it is.
Dear Alabama, after returning home from your September 9th concert at the Kansas State Fair and hearing about your involvement with Farm Aid, we felt compelled to write you. My husband, Kenny, is a third-generation farmer, but we're faced with an approaching forced farm sale. Words can't relate how destructive this can be. One's self-esteem drops to rock bottom and feelings of failure move in. The stress can be hard on a marriage and devastating to the kids. Our family story is probably similar to many other farm families that are involved. In 1968, the farm was debt-free. Kenny's father switched from dairy to egg farming. Prices had their ups and downs, and soon the buildings were paid for, and things looked fine. Then suddenly, prices dropped drastically and stayed down for too long. Ken's folks struggled with increasing feed bills and expenses, hoping for the market to return, but after 18 months, the feed bills had grown so high and there was no more hope, so we reluctantly stopped production. Now all that's left are the bills, and we're facing a forced sale of our farm. So be the awful facts. But then, there are the feelings. It's that love for one's land And if you asked Kenny what he'd like to do for the rest of his life, I'm sure he'd say to be able to farm. Farmers aren't looking to get rich. It's the simple things they love and understand. Raising crops and watching the kids grow. Being close and being together with a family as fruits of our labor. Memories and experiences which last a lifetime. Ken has been forced to work for the state to support our family of 7. He drives 2.5 hours to and from work. This increases his appreciation and love for our farm. This is a plea for help from our young family in its struggle to hang on. Please forgive us for asking, but we are at the point of desperation. The forced sale is approaching within 8 to 12 weeks, and time is of the essence. Please take just a moment and view the photos that I have enclosed so you can feel our love for the land and what farming means to us. With warmest regards, Sue Massey, Hollandale, Wisconsin.
In the great state of Illinois, wait a minute, in Chicago in 1896, a famous man said this. He said, "Hear us, America. Burn down your cities and leave our farms, and your cities will spring up again as if by magic. But destroy our farms, and the grass will grow in the streets of every city in this country." Having behind us the producing masses of the nation and the world, supported by the commercial interests and the toilers everywhere, we answer a government that ignores us by saying to them, "You shall not press down upon the working man this crown of thorns. You shall not crucify the farmer on this cross of gold." That was William Jennings Bryan. From right here in Illinois. Ladies and gentlemen, the great group, Alabama.
Country who work hard every day, not for fame or fortune do they strive. Ah, but the fruits of their labor is worth more than their pay, and it's time a few of them recognize. Hello, Detroit auto worker, let me thank you for your time. You work a 40-hour week for a living, just to send it on down the line. Hello, Pittsburgh steel worker, let me thank you for your time. You work a 40-hour week for a living, just to send it on down the line. This is for the one who swings the hammer, driving home the nail, or the one behind the counter, ringing up the sales, or the one who fights the fires, the one who brings the mail, for everyone who works behind the scenes. You can see them every morning in the factories and the fields, in the city streets and the quiet country towns, working me thank you for your time. You work a 40-hour week for a living, just to send it on down the line. Hello, Miss Virginia coal miner, let me thank you for your time. You work a 40-hour week for a living, just to send it on down the line. This is for the one who drives the big rig up and down the road, for the one out in the warehouse bringing in the load, for the waitress, the mechanic, the policeman on patrol, for everyone who works behind the scenes with a spirit you can't replace with no machine. Hello, Illinois. Hello, America. Let me thank you for Let me thank.
Let's rejoin on stage Alabama. Thank you so much. One of the country's most popular groups, Alabama. What a moving performance in that video they produced.
That video and that letter made me cry. I don't know about anybody else.
I've never heard a more compelling appeal to go to the telephone and support our effort tonight. 1-800-FARM-AID. You know, Alabama, they not only do they know what it's like to struggle as a group, because they had a tough time before they were established. They grew up on cotton farms, all except Mark, of course.
Well, the rest of them did, though. And by the way, I wanted to tell everybody the phone lines are jammed.
Right.
And hallelujah for that.
Thank you.
Really, God bless you. But we need you to keep trying and keep calling. Don't give up.
If you call in, you get a busy signal. Don't give up right then. Just wait just a couple of minutes and go back to the telephone and keep dialing the number until you get through, because we need your help and support.
I want to tell everybody, we've had a lot of stars here today, but the real stars of this audience.
Oh.
They are great.
I wish I could shake every one of their hands. Do I wish that?
I don't know, but it'd be fun trying.
It would, right. We're going to go to a special message now from actress Jessica Lange.
The American family farm is disappearing. And with every farmer that leaves the land, and there have been roughly 280,000 in the past 3 years alone, the repercussions are felt throughout rural society. Shops and schools and businesses fall away like dominoes. Already there are ghost towns sprinkled throughout the farm belt. Abandoned farms, fields gone to seed, machinery and farm auction notices posted in every shop window. This vast, lush territory which has nurtured our country for so long, and which has been, in fact, the basis for its great economic growth, is now being vacated, almost without a sound. The question we're being faced with now is a question of values. Are we willing to passively allow the last remnants of our great cultural heritage to disappear? Without our help, a whole page of American history will be lost forever. Please support Farm Aid, because together we can keep America growing.
Well, we're going to go back to the stage with the guy that just swept the video awards this year, Don Henley.
Across the weathered faces, and I watch the harvest burn. I quit the plant in '57, had some time for farming then. Banks back then was lending money. The banker was the farmer's friend, and I've seen dog days and dusty days, late spring snow and early fall sleet. I've held the leather reins in my hands and felt the soft ground under my feet. Between the hot, dry weather and the taxes and the Cold War, it's been hard to make ends meet. But I always put the clothes on our backs, I always kept the shoes on our feet. Grandson, he comes home from college, he says, we get the government we deserve. My son-in-law just shakes his head and says, that little punk, he never had to serve. And I sit here in the shadow of suburbia, look out across these empty fields. I sit here in earshot of the bypass, and all night I listen to the rushing of the wheels. Got incorporated too. Me, I just know how to raise things. That was all I ever knew. Now it all comes down to numbers. Now I'm glad that I have quit. Folks these days just don't do nothing simply for the love of it. Town on the 4th of July, watched them parade past the Union Jack, watched them break out the brass, beat on the drum. 1 step forward, 2 steps back, and I saw a sign on Easy Street, said, be prepared to stop, pray for the independent little man. I don't see next year's crop. And I sit here back porch in the twilight, and I hear the crickets hum. I sit and watch the lightning in the distance, but the showers never come. I sit here and listen to the wind blow, and I sit here and rub my hands. I sit here and listen to the clock strike, and I wonder when I'll see my companion again. Thank you. We'll see you about 11:30.
Former Eagle Don Henley, and we're going to take another short break here. We'll continue with Farm Aid after this.
Welcome back to the Farm Aid concert right here in Champaign, Illinois. We're going to take you to the stage now to Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
I'll tell you, we're very proud to be here tonight. This is quite an occasion. You should all be proud too. This is a song written by Carole King.
Nothing in your eyes. It makes me feel like giving up, because my best just ain't good enough. Girl, I want to provide for you and all the things that you want me to. Oh no, don't bring me down. Darling, 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 I'm loving you. Oh no. Don't bring me down. No sacrifices
string up, because my best just ain't good enough. Girl, I want you to provide you do all the things that you want me to. Oh no, don't bring me down. Drop, don't make you. Oh no, don't bring me down. Drop, I need you.
times are all over, I don't believe the thrill is all gone. Real love is a man's salvation. As the weak ones fall, the strong carry on. Straight into darkness, out over the line. Yeah, straight into darkness, straight into night. You went straight into darkness, out over the line. Yeah, straight into darkness, straight into night. We got something we both know it. We don't talk too much about it. It ain't no real big secret all the same. Somehow we get around it. Listen. Believe what you wanna believe. Somewhere, somehow, somebody must have kicked you around, so tell me why you wanna lay there, revel in your abandon. Listen. Everybody's out there fighting to be free. See You know what I mean? Somewhere, somehow, somebody must have kicked you around, so maybe you were kidnapped, tied up, taken away, and held for ransom. Everybody's out there fighting to be free. See it now. To live like a refugee. To live like a refugee.
The opinions expressed by Tim Hutton during Neil Young's performance were the opinions of Neil Young as expressed in his recent letter to USA Today. These opinions and any other personal opinions expressed by performers or persons on stage today are not the opinions of Farm Aid Incorporated or the Nashville Network or Gaylord Syndicom. We are so lucky to live in America, a land where individuals can speak freely their personal opinions and beliefs.
Brenda, we want to invite everybody to stay with us because coming up, superstar Bob Dylan. We'll be back with that and more on Farm Aid, a concert to keep America growing after this short break. We're back here in Champaign, Illinois with 3 old cotton farmers from Alabama, right? 2.5? One behind. Oh, another one over there. Jeff, Randy, and Teddy of Alabama. Let there be no doubt.
Mark Herndon's right behind.
Oh, hello, Mark. I didn't see you there. Let there be no doubt that you fellas read your fan mail. That was a very, very moving video you produced and played for us from that young family in Wisconsin.
We didn't have anything to do with that except we asked Greg Fowler, who handles the publicity for the group, as I get this bug off your sleeve here. And a lot of great people in Nashville, Tennessee, which is too numerous to mention. They made sure that that letter came off like we wanted it to, and I want to thank them, and I want to thank the American public for showing up here, and I want to thank Willie Nelson and his whole organization and all the people that set all this stuff up, because they're the unsung heroes, just like the American farmer.
You're absolutely correct, and I see you were the secretary 1967 and 68 of your Future Farmers of America group, right?
Fort Payne, Alabama chapter.
Right. Fellas, thank you tremendously. We're going to go back to our stage. On stage, Bob Dylan.
Baby, like you know you can.
You've been watching Bob Dylan, and believe me, there's much more to come, but we got to take a break. Don't go away.
Still on stage, Mr. Bob Dylan. Let's rejoin him.
We're going overtime, man. We need to do one more. But I ain't gonna work or make you smile no more. I ain't gonna work or make you smile no more. Well, I wake up in the morning, put my hands in dreaming. But I hit the road, my deals, and I drive me crazy. I see the way she makes me spit the floor out. I ain't gonna work or make you smile no more.
Well, Brenda, I was trying to keep track there about who all was on stage for that
Well,
set.
it it got confusing.
Yes,
Willie was on, Tom Petty was on, of course
and,
Bob was on.
Bob Dylan was right.
Yes.
And I was trying to see if there was anybody else that had performed earlier this evening before we had to cut away and come back up here. What a terrific effort it is by everybody involved today. What a wealth of talent we've had all day long, and the effort continues for most of our audience. We're going to try to stay here until midnight. Some folks will have to leave us a little earlier, but we don't want you to forget one thing. Call the number 1-800-FARM-AID, okay?
Please call the number.
We heard earlier this evening that the phone lines, thanks to you, were jammed. And if you run into that situation wherever you're trying to reach us from, please don't give up. Just give it a few minutes and go back to the telephone and dial it again.
Yes, because we've got a lot more show left. And once again, I'm amazed at this crowd.
You know, one thing we haven't been able to show, and I really wanted to do this, we referred to it earlier today, that's the stage.
I know it. I don't know why we haven't been able to show it.
Just
maybe
didn't work
before
out.
It's off.
Right.
Well, we can't now.
It's a revolving stage, and it is not electrical. It runs on, well, I refer to the squirrel in the cage principle. And although we haven't been able to show it, basically there are 24 guys back there, and they have some sort of a little lever. They use the principle of leverage, a pole that they put in a designated slot, and simply walk around with that stage.
That's
and it
exactly
works.
Right. And they have worked so hard tonight. I mean, everybody has. But those guys are behind the scenes,
and
they've worked so hard.
I think they have beaten their own record for setting that stage up again. Let's go back down there for more live Farm Aid.
I want to talk about a great farmer. 3 or 4 weeks ago, he planted a seed, and look what it's grown into. Mr. Willie Nelson.
Little creek level, now I'm home with a double shovel. You gotta stay all night, stay a little longer, dance all night, dance a little longer, pull off your coat, throw it in the corner. Don't see why you don't stay a little longer. And you ought to see my blue-eyed Sally, lives way down on Shinbone Alley, and the number on the gate and the number on the door. Next town's over is the grocery store, and you gotta stay all night, stay a little longer, dance all night, dance a little longer, pull off your coat, throw it in the corner. Don't see why you don't stay a little longer. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for being with us for this portion of Farm Aid, a concert for America to keep it growing. Don't forget our effort. Keep dialing that number, 1-800-FARM-AID. Farm Aid, a concert for America, has been brought to you by Chevy Trucks. When you need a truck you can lean on, nothing works like a Chevy truck. Campbell Soup Company, for over a century making products good for America. Miller Beer. Miller, made the American way since 1855. And Fram, the makers of Fram oil filters and the Fram Extra Life air filters. Biscuits and feed her cornbread, the gals around Big Creek about half grown. Jump on a man like a dog on a bone. Farm Aid,
has been a Gaylord Syndicom presentation.
Dance a little longer, pull off your coat and throw it in the corner. Don't see why you don't stay a little longer, so stay all night. Stay a little longer. Dance all night. Dance a little longer, pull off your coat and throw it in the corner. Don't see why you don't stay a little longer, so stay all night. Stay a little longer. Dance.